Does a new voting security system actually make our elections less secure? That's a question being raised by a tech expert and some voting activists. They say Fulton County's new voting cabinets could actually help hackers. 11 Live's Doug Richards has more on the new system and what's at issue here.
When voters across Georgia go to vote in next month's presidential primary, they will use new voting machines. And in Fulton County, many of those voters will see the new machines inside large metal cabinets purchased by Fulton County. The question is whether a hacker could make mischief inside one of those metal cabinets that he wouldn't be able to make if the machine was exposed on a table, of the sort that we've seen in early tryouts of the state's new system.
You can take a jump drive and insert it. You can disconnect cables. You can have access to anything that's connected to the back of that machine. That would take seconds. It would be largely undetectable, I think.
Fulton County actually bought those cabinets with an eye on enhancing voter security. We'll see how this discussion is playing out tonight on 11 Alive News at 6.